So why do we feel sorry for ourselves and look down on ourselves? Kufunga kuti zvinhu zvakanaka zvichabva kunze uko. Zvinhu zvakanaka will start in this room today. So after having done my nursing, I left Zimbabwe, April 2000. Because I was a dreamer, I just got married and I told my husband, you need to promise me one thing. You marry, but I still go to UK. So we agreed. I went, came back, lived in Zimbabwe. To cut the long story short, we packed our bags, our small suitcases, and we went. Worked for a year in the UK, and in the second year, we started our healthcare recruitment business. In a culture where, from where? No, because you guys feel sorry for yourself and say, hey, it's not being humble when you can't be confident. Not being confident is not being humble. Guys, again, where does that come from? The way we are raised up. We are raised up, we must look down. And we must only listen and be told and not challenge. And so, number one step you are going to take from this breakfast meeting when you get home, approach your demons. What issues are you suffering right now that are stopping you from being confident? Think about it. Would you walk in any of the minister's office and go and be bold and tell the minister, Minister, who is the mayor of Marodzi? And go and tell them, this is not acceptable. This is the boldness we are looking from women. Saka, in that scenario. And then think of all the things that are saying in your head. Why not? Because those are the things you need to deal with. And those are personal things. Some will say, it's my body. I don't like, I don't feel comfortable. Some will say, it's my skin. Some will say, it's my hair. Think about that. Because for me, I went through that journey. For me, it was my body. I started going to the gym and working out to look good. It was my hair. I thought, you know what? I want to be me. I want to be free. So I went natural. There are small things that you can do with you. Zvinokubatsira iwewe as a person. Can you walk? Actually, I've got a picture. I can go to the cinemas in my pajamas. For real. When I'm traveling, I travel very simple. My jeans, my t-shirt, my shoes, and then in my bag always is my onesie. As soon as I get on the plane, I don't care who I'm sitting next to. Tie my hair because my hair needs to look pretty. Onesie yangu. I don't care who I'm sitting next to. Why should I worry? Why should I worry? Makeup. Again, because I'm not accepting myself when I do that. These are serious issues. If you can't confront them, you will not be confident to sit in a boardroom full of men and challenge them. Because iwewe unofila inadequate. Nobody apana arikumbo kuti uri inadequate. But iwewe as a person unofila inadequate. Kana usina weave, kana usina makeup, kana usina chine. What would happen to you if we take away all those things? That's the person we want. Usina motkari za uno driver. Usiza garezi mbara unogara. Usisa shande basara unoshanda. Usisa ite zvonoita. Who is inside there? Is what we want to deal with. If we can bring out that person, we have arrived. Does that make sense, guys? Because we should not identify ourselves with possessions. The Bible says Job was stripped of everything. Jesse, can you imagine? But he did not lose his faith. He kept on standing. And if what we have or what we think was to be taken away, what would happen to our soul? I'll give you another example. Because I just want to be real. Ipo pano pandirapa. Nditori ne musha wangu kwa mtoko. Ndakavaka musha wangu kwa mtoko. Because I don't like to be in Harare. Kana ndiri free. I want kuno full wanemepo. Shut down and restart. So what did I do? Vake musha wangu, kite musha wangu. I have got vanorima. I eat fresh produce. I don't believe in buying food in supermarkets. I could go on. I'm extreme. But it's working for me. Saka ndashika kumusha kwekwe. Chimatinesi zangu, outfit chango. Mama, what's Nis doing? Mukitchen, tobika, todini. 2 days, 5 days. I leave my mother-in-law. She was in here, she would tell you. Ndozo wira kwa rare kwangu. Shochi Mrs. Ndoida kunetuka my nails. Ndoita. Ndozoka ku Mrs. wangu. So, I go kumusha more than one Marari. I've been here 3 weeks. I've already been kumusha and I'm going back Sunday. What am I saying, guys? It's because you don't appreciate what you have. Kumusha is free land. Free mvura. Muturine kumusha kunotonzi kumusha kuwenyu. I say you are living in this Harare and you don't even know kurodi kumusha kwenyu. I'm challenging you to be bold for what? For change. I'll tell you the lesson I learned. I'll tell you. When we were given that saw milling plant, when we took it, kucheka mapranga, mnozo bakisa zimbaze, you know all that. When I went there, I was shocked. What shocked me and made me sad was that vast lands, nimazimba kanaka vast land, all the nice places. They my bosses, and what are these people? The whites. We were only going to be the first black people team that was going to go there. But again, when I sat down to have a conversation with them, because now I want to understand, you know what they tell me? They tell me, Avana expense ka, aku badaro ma bills ka. Aku badaro ma bills. Hakuna ma rates, ime mchibadara cancel ma rates vasiri kugadziranzira. Motika zawo ma shock sakanaka because zawo nzira vanongopinda mu highway. And then, yes, thank you. And then they saka mariawo yeseka yavano produce ka. They don't spend it. Because avana ma day-to-day expenses you and me have. Because all the food they eat is fresh produce. You understand wisdom, guys? Saka iwewe is a woman in Harare. How could you make sure you don't spend $1 every day? You need wisdom. Unotadzere kwa na chimunda cha unorimisa uwe hayavano. Werima, fresh produce pagore, it comes to you. These are simple things that we can work with to save the little that we have. And then because I'm supposed to be going to be wrapping up, I'm going to go straight my nuggets that I have for what we can do to invest right now in Zimbabwe. So I want to see people who are not employed, variku hustler. Let's see the hustlers. Right? We got a good amount of hustlers, right? Amazing, right? Okay, and then those who are in corporate, very employed, Jepa pay slip. Look at that. Look at that. Amazing stuff. Right. That's fine. That's fine. Because what you want as a woman is to have a full-time job, but also have what we call a sidekick. But not at the expense of the employer. I need to make that clear. Right. So, what opportunities are Muno Marari right now for all of us? My desire and my dream is that I think we should all of us, there is no reason why we shouldn't have a property portfolio. And this equity, why not? Because, let me start with those who are in full-time employment. Nyayeku have a proper bank account, it is functional, is important. In the world that, in the space I operate, is that it creates what we call your credit rating or your credit portfolio. It's a point of reference for the main system to identify uruku, you've got money going and money going out. Which information of when a bank can a mortgage? You can ask me, Fungai, kuni mortgages in Zimbabwe? RT. Not yesterday, the day before I was at CBZ signing my document. They had my files up to here of my loans that they can give to you and me for a mortgage. Now, what do I mean when I start a property portfolio? You need wisdom. And I've always said to myself, rather than having a big house in Harare that I don't even live in, I invest in my properties which can be let. Because it's an expense, it's a liability. But how about investing into my small houses? At the moment, kuna Mastains, kuna na Budiriro, kuna na Glenview, Marondera is going to come up in a few months' time. CBZ tells me Mastains are going from 7,000. Sakashinukutadzisa with the money you have or work towards it. Kutenga your first and second and third. That's what I call investment, because those things, unema title deeds, no one can take away from you. You can live for your children. And again, wisdom. I'm not saying there's anything wrong to have a big house and a nice house. We all want those things. But why would I invest 700,000 in building a house? Which 700,000 I could build a house which is just good enough size for me and my children. And then the rest, if I've got access to money, I invest. Because what happens in Bayamulko, if anything happens to it, then what? Your whole investment and everything is gone. An investment is something that brings you back money. It forms a stream of income.
Academy. You dream it, we blaze it.